Years ago, in the bustling streets of New York, a young entrepreneur named Mark was struggling to keep his small cafe afloat. He was barely making rent, constantly borrowing money to pay his employees, and losing customers to large coffee chains. Despite the hardships, he refused to give up. His dream was to one day grow his brand and achieve success. One rainy afternoon, an unexpected customer walked into his cafe. Donald Trump. At that time, Trump was a well-known real estate tycoon and business magnate. He entered in his signature suit, glanced around briefly, and approached the counter. "One coffee, please," he said. Mark, recognizing him instantly, tried to hide his nervousness. His hands trembled slightly as he prepared the order, his heart pounding in his chest. It wasn't every day that a man of Trump's stature walked into a struggling cafe. As the conversation unfolded, Mark shared his struggles, how he had poured everything into this business, how he fought daily to keep it alive, and how his dreams seemed to slip further away. His voice carried both hope and despair. Trump listened intently, nodding occasionally. There was a moment of silence before he reached into his pocket, pulled out a checkbook, and wrote a sum. Handing it to Mark, he said, "This is for your business. Keep working hard, you'll go far." Mark stared at the check, his fingers trembling. His eyes welled up with tears, but he held them back out of pride. This wasn't just money, it was validation, a lifeline. With the financial boost, he paid off his debts, upgraded his cafe, and attracted new customers. Over time, Mark's small cafe became one of the most popular spots in the city. Each morning, as he walked in, he remembered Trump's words and worked even harder. Success didn't come overnight, but the kindness of a stranger had ignited a fire within him. Years passed. Trump had since become the President of the United States. One day, during a visit to New York, he decided to stop by the little cafe he once helped. But when he arrived, it was no longer a small cafe. It had transformed into a thriving business with multiple locations. Walking inside, Trump smiled, remembering that rainy afternoon. Mark recognized him immediately and rushed over. "Mr. President," he said, shaking his hand warmly, "it's an honor to see you again." Trump took a seat, and Mark personally made his coffee, just as he had years ago. But this time, Mark had a surprise of his own. He handed Trump an envelope. Curious, Trump opened it. Inside was a document showing that Mark had donated a significant sum far greater than what Trump had given him to charities supporting the homeless and aspiring entrepreneurs. "You once did something incredible for me," Mark said, his voice filled with emotion, "and I wanted to pay it forward. Because of your kindness, I was able to build this, and now I want to give back." Trump looked at Mark, a rare moment of silent admiration in his expression. "That," he said finally, "is real success." That day, as Trump left the cafe, he felt something beyond wealth and power, a quiet satisfaction that a simple act of kindness had created a ripple effect far greater than he could have imagined. This story reminds us that even the smallest act of kindness can change a life and, in turn, change the world.